Previously in the last episode. By now, everyone in the Sixth School Martial Arts had realized that they could not defeat Cheon. He had killed almost all of their people. 𝗰𝗵𝗽𝗁 increased the size of his body to stop Cheon and give 𝗰𝗵𝗽𝗁 time to escape. 𝗰𝗵𝗽𝗁 tightly grabbed Cheon, but as soon as Cheon grabbed 𝗰𝗵𝗽𝗁's hand, 𝗰𝗵𝗽𝗁 was shocked. 𝗰𝗵𝗽𝗁 said, "How can a human's grip be this strong?" When Cheon glared at him, 𝗰𝗵𝗽𝗁 felt even more pressure. He said, "Even my bones and muscles feel like they could burst at any moment. I don't think I can hold him for long." Cheon immediately grabbed both of 𝗰𝗵𝗽𝗁's hands and pried them apart. 𝗰𝗵𝗽𝗁 realized he had already bought enough time and said, "If the Blade Sect leader also manages to escape, that will be enough for us." 𝗰𝗵𝗽𝗁's head started swelling. He thought, "Now I have to do this." He screamed and said, "Demonic cult leader Cheon, let's go to hell together. You won't be able to handle what happens next." Cheon laughed and said, "That same line again? Why do all the Sixth School Martial Arts people always say this? Don't you ever get tired of it?" 𝗰𝗵𝗽𝗁 didn't understand Cheon's words, but in the next moment Cheon, who had grabbed both of 𝗰𝗵𝗽𝗁's hands, gave him a powerful shock. 𝗰𝗵𝗽𝗁 was jolted violently. Then Cheon grabbed both of his arms and tore them off in a single motion. The scene changed to 𝗰𝗵𝗽𝗁, who was running away at great speed. While fleeing, he thought, "I had to sacrifice all my subordinates and comrades just to escape." He clenched his teeth and said, "This is disgraceful, but at least I will survive. If I escape, that will be enough. I need to report everything to the Blade Master and return with a new plan." Demonic cult leader, Cheon, this time you have won. Celebrate while you can, but next time you won't get this opportunity. If someone has a lot, they also have a lot to lose. Just wait. I want to see how you will react when your most precious things are taken from you. Wait for me. I will return soon, and I will make sure of it. As soon as he said this and moved forward, he was struck by a sudden impact, and blood spilled from his mouth. 𝗰𝗵𝗽𝗁, who had been speaking with such confidence, immediately fell to his knees. He muttered, "How is this possible?" Cheon's palmless flame sword had pierced through 𝗰𝗵𝗽𝗁's chest. His eyes started closing, and he said, "He was at least a kilometer away from me. How could this happen? Cheon, that bastard, the demonic cult leader, he is not human." And just like that, 𝗰𝗵𝗽𝗁's story ended. Scene change. 2 kilometers away from the palace at 𝗵𝗺 Mountain. A man stood on the mountain. Behind him, another man was wrapped in bandages. The bandaged man thought, "He can't see that far. Or can he? He has been staring in that direction for a long time. Even if I focus my full concentration, I still can't see that far." The first man was the head blade master of the Sixth School Martial Arts. He was staring ahead with intense rage. The bandaged man asked, "What is it? What are you seeing?" He thought, "He looks extremely furious." The bandaged man was shocked and thought, "Did 𝗰𝗵𝗽𝗁's plan fail completely? Was there a mistake in the plan?" The head blade master's Kai started surging outward. Seeing this, the bandaged man thought, "How is this possible? We worked so hard on this great plan. We even recruited a spy like the prince for this mission. Was it all in vain?" The head blade master suddenly turned around and placed his hand on his sword. The other man was shocked. The pressure was so intense that his hat flew off. The head blade master swung his sword, and all the mountains behind him were sliced apart like butter in a single slash. The bandaged man started sweating and thought, "This power is something else. Could it be that the head blade master has obtained the divine territory?" Divine territory was considered a realm, just like how Cheon was in the life and death realm. The head blade master then immediately sheathed his sword. The blade master takes a deep breath and says, "Now, we are returning from here." The second man, upon hearing this, is completely confused and asks, "If there is some kind of problem in the plan, shouldn't we ignore the Blade Magic Squad and Blade Purity Squad?" Hearing this, the Blade Master replies, Everything over there has already been completely destroyed. Focusing on those things will be of no use. But then he smirks and says, "Still, it doesn't matter. In return, we have gained something valuable." The bandaged man asks curiously, "And in the end, what is that thing?" The Blade Master responds, "The demonic cult leader 𝗰𝗵𝗽𝗁. Finally, I have found you." After this, the scene changes back to the Imperial Palace, where the corpses of all the fallen warriors are being arranged. The leader of the Five Peak Alliance is observing everything and mutters to himself, "How terrifying. This was one of the biggest battles in the kingdom." Behind the Alliance leader, another man appears and reports, "Almost 600 members of the Sixth School Martial Arts have been completely wiped out, and another 1,000 are seriously injured. As soon as they recover slightly, we will begin our investigation on them." The Alliance leader nods in agreement. Then the scene shifts to Yangul and 𝗰𝗽𝗁. Yangul comments, "This matter is far more serious than we initially thought." "Soos." A guard adds, "Each one of them was being controlled through their inner energy. Every single captured member of the Sixth School Martial Arts died due to their heads exploding. Haninikin. It appears there was some kind of parasite inside their heads which caused their skulls to rupture." Just as the demonic cult leader 𝗰𝗵𝗽𝗁 had said it. The scene then shifts to the Shadow Master, who is also observing the corpses. He thinks to himself, they were all prepared in advance, but why are they so afraid of their information being leaked? He is certain that even they never expected such an outcome. The scene then shifts to Do Kuang, who has been completely charred and left sitting in place by 𝗰𝗄𝗻. Stammering, Do Kuang asks, How did you remove the parasite from my head?" Looking at 𝗰𝗄𝗻, he mutters, "Demonic cult leader. Just what else is he capable of? He is definitely far beyond all the heavenly demons I have encountered so far. He continues to exceed my expectations." He takes a deep breath and thinks, "I can only hope that he will take all the goals of the heavenly demon divine cult under his command." Attested. The scene then shifts to Wang, who is speaking to someone. "No, you cannot do this." Standing in front of Wang is the 7th Master of the 𝗰𝗵𝗽𝗁 Alliance, Ayung Gagak. He firmly states, "We captured them ourselves." Next to him stands the leader of the beggar sect from the 𝗰𝗵𝗽 Alliance, 𝗰𝗵𝗽𝗁. He adds, "As an ally, there are certain rules that must be followed. How can you ask us to hand over the captives we caught?" Hearing this, Wang turns to Nam Gung-gyeon and says, "When I severed your hand, didn't you try to flee from our cult at that time?" As soon as Nam Gung-gyeon hears this, he immediately turns his face away and mutters, "No, nothing like that happened." Wang smirks. "Wow, really? The wound must have burned quite a bit, yet you're still deceiving everyone like this. Do you truly have no sense of honor?" Nam Gung-gyeon clenches his fists and responds, "I was captured while fighting Myeong Patriarch and sect leader Han. I don't know what you're talking about." Sweat begins to form on his forehead as he thinks to himself, "I must not let him intimidate me. If I fall into their hands, they will try to extract all the secrets of the Blue Heaven Society from me. I will be subjected to immense torture, and I might even be killed during the process." As everyone continues their discussion, a man approaches them and says to View Wang, "Have you still not finished your task?" As soon as they turn to look at the speaker, they realize it is 𝗰𝗄𝗻. The moment 𝗰𝗄𝗻 arrives, he glares at everyone. His mere presence alone makes them feel as if they are standing before a living monster. Seeing him, some whisper, "His aura is terrifying." But they steel their resolve, thinking, "We cannot change our stance now. If we do, then he will learn about all the people in the 𝗰𝗵𝗽 Alliance who are involved in such matters. Moreover, if he discovers the technique that Nam Gung-gyeon used, he might misuse it." They conclude that this technique should remain within the 𝗰𝗵𝗽 Alliance only. As they discuss this, the Alliance leader himself arrives. Initially, he doesn't understand the situation, But after observing for a moment, he realizes what is happening. He thinks to himself, they are all looking to me for help. What should I do now? At that moment, 𝗰𝗵𝗽𝗁 uses telepathy to communicate with the Alliance leader, saying, if we hand them over, the secrets of both the Blue Heaven Society and the Sixth School Martial Arts will be exposed. This won't just put the Alliance in danger, it will jeopardize the entire Orthodox 𝗰𝗵𝗽𝗁. Do you agree with this? Upon hearing this, the Alliance leader thinks, he's absolutely right. The demonic cult leader 𝗰𝗏 is already far too powerful. If he gains even more power, the balance between the three factions will completely collapse. Then, turning to 𝗰𝗏, the Alliance leader asks, Cult leader, is it possible for you to let go of this matter? As soon as 𝗰𝗏 hears this, he responds, let go? What exactly do you mean by that? The Alliance leader explains, even though your subordinate injured 𝗰𝗵𝗽𝗁, in the end it was our Alliance members who captured him. So in my opinion, the right thing to do is to keep all the captives within the 𝗰𝗵𝗽𝗁 Alliance. Hearing this, 𝗰𝗏 turns his gaze toward the Alliance leader. Meanwhile, 𝗰𝗏, who has also heard this, makes an unusual expression. What will happen next? We will see in the next part.